What's up, motherfuckers? A lot of you may be wondering what the hell happened to me. For those of you who don't know, I almost fucking died a week and a half ago. And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly what happened. And for dramatic effect, I got a little like death ambiance going here. I got the keyboards going, got some like Grim Reaper themes for you. I'm a musician. So let's start off how all this shit started. In 2007, I started feeling pains in my chest and in my lung. Thought it was just a muscle problem, so I said, fuck it. I'm not gonna even worry about it. Then the pains got worse and worse and worse. And one morning, when I was about to go to my new job at the vitamin shop, I was 19 years old, I started coughing up blood. And it wasn't just like regular blood, it was chunks, like solid chunks of blood. I later found out these were pieces of my own fucking lung. I went to Valley Hospital. Doctor saw me, took an x-ray or a CAT scan, I don't remember what it was, and told me, we're going to have to admit you. I said, why? It's just time. I'm not even in that much pain. It's like, you're lucky you're fucking alive right now. If you came any couple hours later, you'd be dead right now. Because the clot would have gotten so big, it would have completely blocked the arteries to my lungs, and I'd be dead. For those of you who don't know what a pulmonary embolism is, I left the link below for you, but in short, it is caused by deep vein thrombosis, which is a blood clot in your legs or somewhere else in your body that can travel to your brain, give you a stroke, travel to your heart, give you a heart attack, or travel to your lung and give you a pulmonary embolism. So in a way, I'm lucky that I got the least horrible of the three. So they admitted me into the hospital. Pain wasn't too bad until that night. The pain started getting insanely bad and unbearable to the point where I literally couldn't breathe because it hurt so much. I was like, So they jacked me up on morphine, didn't work. Jacked me up on something else, didn't work. Jacked me up on like the most insane painkiller in the hospital, and finally that worked. They put me on blood thinners to slowly dissolve the clot, and I was in the hospital for 1 week. The doctor told me I'd be on blood thinners for the rest of my life, and I could never do contact sports again. It was really terrible for me because at the time I was a huge meathead, and I was seriously thinking about getting into this sport called mixed martial arts. At the time, I said, fuck it, I'll never be able to do this again. So, leave the hospital, I'm on blood thinners for a couple of months, and one day, the pharmacy told me, your insurance no longer covers blood thinners. Coumadin, it was. I said, why? He said, we don't know, but you can't get it. I found out I had aged out of my mom's insurance, so I said, all right, fuck you guys. I can't do anything about it. Stopped taking blood thinners. Completely forgot about the whole situation. Started training mixed martial arts a year later. Lived a nice, awesome, full life off of blood thinners. Mosh pits. Getting into fights. Bullshit. And then a week and a half ago, I get the same chest pains. I'm thinking to myself, it's just a muscle pain. Until 3 days into it, I start coughing up blood again. So this time, I went to Hackensack Hospital instead of Valley Hospital, because Valley Hospital fucking sucks. And they told me the same thing, pulmonary embolism. And I forgot to add, the first time they never found out what caused it. The second time I went, they still never found out what caused it. The only thing that could possibly be tied to it is my family's history of thalassemia, which is Mediterranean anemia. It's a blood disorder that, as cool as it sounds, makes you immune to malaria, but it's a really bad blood problem to have. I don't have it, but my family members, some of them have it. and this increases the risk of pulmonary embolism from what my doctor had told me. So that's my situation. I wrote down some things I wanted to talk about on here. They told me I'm going to be on blood thinners again for the rest of my life, so no mixed martial arts. I don't know how I'm going to take this. I don't know if I should get a second opinion, but if you could help me, let me know. They told me I'd lost 1/4 of my lung the first time and lost even more of it this time, which also fucking sucks. They told me if I had come in later this time, the clot would have gotten so big I would have died. So that's what I mean when I said I almost died. This whole thing was pretty traumatic, but for some reason I'm just able to block it out and not think about it. Because it sucks a lot to see my family and friends get hurt. When I get hurt, it's something I could usually deal with, you know? Some funny things that happened to me in the hospital were the night I went in, my mom was so scared that I was going to die. She actually found a priest in the hospital to come pray for me. When he came to pray for me, he was Indian, by the way. He's like, "What would you like me to do for you?" I said, "Well, I'm an atheist, but it's good to meet you, sir, father." My mom said, "No, let him pray for you, you idiot." So I said, fuck it. So I had the priest read me my last rites, which was the funniest thing ever. About 2 days in, the first 2 days were terrible. This happened the third day. I was on morphine for the 2 days, completely incomprehensible. So I told all of you where I was the third day, and here are some things I did. Hospitals fucking suck. The entire time you're there, people are waking you up literally every 20 minutes. Nurse comes in, "Oh, let me introduce myself. Oh, we need to check your blood pressure. Oh, we need to fucking stick a thermometer up your ass." It was the worst thing ever. So I ended up signing myself out, which was probably stupid, but they wanted to keep me another 2 days and I just couldn't deal with it. Some funny things I did in the hospital was I ripped off my electrodes or whatever the fuck they were and played dead for my nurse, who was this Polish guy who was a metalhead. So he thought I was dead, and when he came to touch me, I'm like, "Ah!" Another thing is, I was shitting blood when I went in there, so I thought it had something to do with the pulmonary embolism, but it turns out I just had hemorrhoids. So while I'm in all this pain, this nurse comes, tells me to flip over, and they have to do a rectal exam. I thought they're just gonna, play around the edges, but this woman shoves her entire thumb up my ass and then does this, which was the most awkward thing that has ever happened to me. Then she's like, "All right, we're done, but we need to do it again." I'm, no. Sticks her thumb up there again, does this. If you ever have hemorrhoids, guys, don't tell the doctor. Just go have some fucking Miralax or some fiber. That's my advice to you. Now, for this part, a lot of my family in Iran want to know what the hell happened to me. So for those of you who don't like to hear that Doon Coon language, Iran, Iraq, a Walla Walla Bing Bang, switch to this time right here and you continue this video in American. سلام فامیلای عزیزم تو ایران. خواستم فقط بهتون بگم جریان من چی شده. من رفتم بیمارستان به خاطر سکته ریه. خونه من سفت شده و از پاهام رفت به ریم. کاری کرد که از رگام خون نتونست برسه به ریم و 1/4 ریه من مرد. 1 هفته تو بیمارستان بودم و نزدیک بود بمیرم، ولی به سلامت زندم و خواستم به همتون بگم تشکر میکنم که به من زنگ زدید و به من مسیج دادی تو اینترنت. اگر سوالای دیگه داری من زنگ بزن یا تو فیسبوک بیا با من حرف بزن. مرسی. Alright, we're back speaking good old American language. I just wanted to thank all my friends who visited me. I never thought visiting was a big deal, but when you're in the hospital and you feel like death and you have nobody, nothing is better than your friends coming to visit you. So I wanted to thank Eddie Cateman for coming, Eddie Rowland, Susan, Dave, Stephen Arakic Del Corso, Tom, Adam, Liana, and Jean. I really appreciate you guys for coming. I'm sorry for whoever I forgot to mention. And most importantly, a little special thank you to Susan for bringing me food and being there for me. Another special thank you for Eddie Cateman coming, giving me earplugs, eye patches, and helping me get through the whole thing by telling me about your ordeal with the whole thing. And last but not least, I feel like I'm going to lose a lot of friends for this, but when you're in the hospital and you're about to die, you start thinking about what else is out there, if there's a higher power or something. And while I was in the hospital, I realized there is a higher power, and I decided that I'm no longer an atheist. I'm not religious, but I do believe in God now. So I'm sorry for this change, but this is who I am now, and it took a near-death experience for me to truly realize it. Because when you're at the bottom, the only place you can look is up. Just kidding about that last part, you fucks. I'll be a heathen forever and ever. I hope you guys enjoyed the Rak death special, and I hope you guys all have a terrible fucking week, and that you could experience death like I did, but that you actually fucking die. Have a horrible week, guys, and fuck all of you.